Okay, let's do it. We're on. Awesome. Thank you everybody for coming along and joining us here. I'm just going to move screens around so I'm not. What the world is going on there? I don't look like I'm just staring off into the distance. Again, thank you for coming along for tonight. You're here because Christmas is obviously important to a lot of people. So being 2020 with COVID, a lot of us have actually struggled quite significantly. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough hike for most people out there. But again, it's all a matter of perspective. How you can take that it's a decision that we need to make. But yeah, no, first things first, if you are watching this on a recording, thank you very much for taking the time. We are, as you can see on the date there, the 21st today of October 2020, in the midst of the COVID-19 outbreak. Fun. If you do want to get in touch, by all means, reach out. My name is Jason Gents, as you can, I don't know if you can see my little video. Can you see my video? I don't know if that's going to come up. I put a big screen behind me and everything. But no, for everybody out there who doesn't know who I am a health coach coming on 16 years in the fitness industry. Dealt with a lot of not just clients, but anything in general. Oh, excellent. Thanks, Jules. Yeah, a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds, whether it's dropping 10 kilos to fit into swimmers for someone, or people with like severe disabilities. One of my standouts that I'll remember for a very long time. We actually helped this lady walk again. It was amazing experience to work with her. So yeah, she's actually what got me interested in the rehabilitation side of things and the neurological side of things as well. So, a lot of different hats get worn. So not just from a trainer or a coach's perspective, but also from experiencing it myself. I started out, 75 kilos bringing wet, bulked right up, looked amazing around that 95 kilos to 100 kilo mark. Went through severe depression, was homeless for some time there. It was a crazy time. So, I packed on the pounds. I went up to about 115 kilos, about 30% body fat, which is ridiculous. At the moment, as of recording this, I'm in between bodybuilding shows. I had my body fat done the other day. I sit at about 5% body fat. 84 kilos, give or take, probably a little bit more now that I've got some water in me. Yeah, so I mean, I've dealt with it not just on a professional level, but on a personal level as well. So I like to think that I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, so tonight we're going to talk about Christmas, and I know it's October, so don't hate me for that, but it's going to creep up on us, and that's the scary thing is I worked it out, we're about 8 weeks away from Christmas at the moment. So it's there. If you haven't started your Christmas shopping yet, there's something wrong. Me. So yeah, I'm going to give you some of my tips on how you can have the fittest, healthiest, most financially free Christmas ever. These are all tips and tricks that I personally have used in the past, and most of which I still use today, actually. I know there's one that springs to mind in the financial side of things that I really want to get into again. But that's again, all up in the air for this year. But no, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. It just simply hasn't been done. So look, let's jump in. For the purpose of this webinar, you know, what we're covering tonight, fitness, we're going to link in the physical fitness here. I'm also going to link nutrition in with the fitness side of things. We're also going to cover health. So when I say health, we're talking emotional, psychological health, and obviously the monetary value as well, the financially free financial health. We're actually going to combine everything. Like I said, we're going to aim for half an hour. I probably will run long. I've got a habit of doing that for these big webinars. But by all means, if anybody has any questions, I want to make this as interactive as possible. By all means, throw them up in the chat, or you know, you can come off mute and obviously sing out. Thank you all for coming along, by the way. For if you're watching this live, I was supposed to stream it live on Facebook, but we didn't have internet was playing up on me. So here we are. You're stuck with either a Zoom or a recording. So let's do it. So I want to know why should we start now? Like before we even get into all these tips and tricks, why start now? Because number one, it's 8 weeks till Christmas. Okay, if you start, like that quote says, if you start now, you'll begin seeing results one day earlier than if you start tomorrow. Now, obviously, that's referring to a fitness and a physical goal, but it can also be applied to a financial goal, an emotional goal, sexual, religious. I nearly said religious goal. Anything at all, anything that you want to hit, this can be applied to it. So if you start now, if you start tonight, if you start whenever you're watching this recording, you will see results one day earlier than if you start tomorrow. Makes sense, yeah? It's pretty straightforward. Look, Christmas itself, I personally like to run off a 12-month calendar for Christmas, for the simple fact, number one, it's once a year. Okay, number two, you break that year down, 52 weeks, and actually let's round it back for 50 weeks. Obviously, we're not going to do anything through the Christmas New Year period, maybe even the week leading into Christmas. So let's say 50 weeks. You break down your goals over 50 weeks, they don't seem so scary. Okay, so that's why I like to start New Year's resolution. New Year's resolutions are an amazing opportunity for you to set some goals and create a brand new life for you. But that's New Year. Let's bring this back to where we are now, 8 weeks away. I'll just put this one here. I like to take both sides here. So that's a positive spin. If you start now, you begin seeing results earlier. Whereas this one here, if you don't do something, every week you don't do something is a week closer to disappointment. So I like to put both. I don't believe in positive and negative, but in terms of this example, that's, you know, the positive and negative side of I'd like the fight or flight response there. Okay, so that's why we need to start now. And to be quite honest, if you don't start tonight, chances are you won't start at all. Okay, so this is what we need to do. I'm actually going to give you a task list to do at the end of this webinar for what you can do tonight. It's going to be pretty simple. Things that you can do might take you half an hour to an hour, that you can do and you should do as soon as this webinar finishes, or even start during webinar. Sounds cool? Let's jump on in. Okay, let's start with setting your targets for Christmas. Okay, this is just a generalized approach. What are your targets? You know, I've just got a few questions down there. How do you see your body? Okay, how much money would you like in the bank? How clear would you like your skin? How do you want to enjoy your Christmas? Is it with your friends and family, or, you know, by yourself? By yourself is cool. I love spending time by myself. You know, if you're with friends or family, how many friends and family? How big do you want to go with Christmas this year? Okay, what are you going to serve? Let's get specific. What foods are you going to serve? You know, cheapy party pies from Coles or Woolies, or do you want to actually go big and maybe get some prawns, or, you know, something a little bit more exotic? I know most of us can't exactly afford prawns every day of the week, so as much as we'd like to. like this bottom one here, what type of presents? You know, throw some ideas at me. What are you going to give your kids or your partner or your parents? You know, do you want to give them, like I would kill for, you know, back in the day it was a Nintendo, okay, like gaming and all that sort of stuff tonight. So yeah, I would have killed for that. And I remember the one year that I actually got a Nintendo game for Christmas. It was probably, you know, that was, what, how old's Nintendo now? That's ages. So that, for me, stuck in my memory because that was one of the biggest presents that I ever had. It was a simple game, okay? But, you know, we weren't exactly rich. We never came from a well-off family. So it was one hell of a treat. We got usually one big present between us kids, and the rest were, you know, little things. So start to think about what your Christmas looks like. Again, from, you know, every little detail. Like, shut your eyes, picture it. You know, you're sitting at your dining room table. You've got your Christmas tablecloth. You've got your centerpieces. Do you have any sort of greenery, any sort of flowers, or anything to dress it up, or even those silly little plastic glitter stars? You know, you're using the good china. Good china, I love that term. The good china, or are you using, you know, paper plates, throwaway plates? Both are fine, by the way. Paper plates mean less washing up. But get specific. Start imagining it now. If money and health were no issues at all, how would it look? So that's the sort of thinking that we need to really make this as powerful as possible for you. So it needs to hit that nerve. Maybe you've got family that can't make it. I know COVID restrictions, people have family interstate. Maybe this year's going to be different. Maybe you're going to organize a Zoom call for everybody in the family to, I don't know, sit around their own dining room table and, you know, share dinner with one another, just watching the screen. Okay, that's all cool. Maybe let's take it one step further. Maybe you've got people in hospital that won't be able to get out before Christmas. Okay, so let's put some emotion behind it. Get specific with how you visualize your Christmas. Okay, not just who you're going to share it with, but how it looks physically. Moving on, I could spend all night on that sort of stuff and the psychological things. Look, before we get, these are the tips that I know we've covered a couple of them already, but things that are going to make this so much easier for you. Planning. Plan it. What's that saying? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, it is so true. You know, being in business for as long as I have, you know, if you don't have that task list, if you don't have those KPIs that you need to hit, you know, you're throwing the spaghetti against the wall just to see what sticks. Okay. Daily routine for our one-on-one guys. We spoke about this the other night. You know, we had an amazing conversation about, you know, getting your structure in place, and that's what you need to do as well. So anybody watching this outside of our one-on-one team or on a recording, get that routine. If you need help with that, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. Gets really specific with it. So I know we've got a lot of our one-on-one guys on tonight, so I won't go into too much depth, but everything, you know, 4:30 a.m. alarm, 4:45 a.m. out of bed, teeth are done, you've got the jug on, you've got breakfast prepped, you've got, you know, blah, 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 blah. 5 a.m. you're eating breakfast, you're feeding the animals, you're doing, you know, get specific. Every little thing goes into that daily routine task list, and you can tick things off. I don't care how insignificant you think they are. Get on top of it and you will start your day on a positive note. Okay, it's an achievement. Make the bed, tick. Done my teeth, tick. Okay, those things. As soon as the mind subconsciously starts to achieve things, again, insignificant little things. As soon as the mind achieves those things, it's just that snowball effect. It'll just keep rolling over and over and over. Okay, long-term, short-term goals. So look, we're 8 weeks out from Christmas at the moment. So long-term, we're not really looking at, but maybe sort of that medium term around that 2 months is usually what we call a medium-term goal, at least in the health industry. Short-term is nice and easy, about that 4-week mark. So you're going to have, for the purposes of this webinar anyway, a medium-term goal and 2 short-term goals that you're going to achieve. Alternatively, you've got the 1 medium goal, and you can break it up into what we call microcycles. So for instance, 2-week terms, so four by 2-week terms of that medium goal and how you get there. So by the end of week 1 or end of week 2, you need to have achieved X, Y, Z. Okay. Tonight, I want you to take notes because we all know you're not going to watch this again. Whether I probably prefer pen and paper. I recommend pen and paper, but you know, if you haven't got anything laying around, by all means, on your phone, load things into your notes so you can actually see them. You can tick them off. You can make notes within notes. And I guess the important thing here is to take action. Like I said earlier, if you don't do anything now or tonight, every minute that you leave it is, you know, that the chances of you actually getting out there and doing that just become smaller and smaller. Okay, so definitely take some action on this one. Okay, let's talk physical fitness. Like we said, we're going to break things down into different categories. We're going to talk physical fitness, both the physical and the nutritional targets. So we'll link these in together. Run me through the physical. Okay, so we know where we are now. Do exactly what you just did with, you know, your Christmas dinner, but now let's add 2 more aspects of that. You're adding your physical, you're adding where you are now, and you're visualizing where you want to be. So where you are, be critical. You know, I've used to do this in the past, is actually take progress photos, and all our one-on-one guys should be doing this, taking progress photos. I'd actually print them out. A4 piece of paper. Back in the day, we could only afford a black and white printer. A4 piece of paper, head to toe, in my underwear. And I would sit there with a pen and scribble on, okay, I need to lose weight. I don't like the tire, you know, the midsection around the tire. I need to build out the shoulders a little more. You know, get specific, draw on it. Like, draw your own physique on top of your progress photos. Okay, so that's just combining those 2. You're sitting where you are, print out 2, obviously, where you are, and then the one that you've drawn on to where you want to be. Leave notes down the side as well. So, you know, it's not just that image. You know, a big arrow, get muscle here. You know, whatever it may be, whatever it takes, whatever resonates with you. Okay, what does it look like? What does your physique look like? Toned. We're losing the tummy. If you're like me and you have lost a lot of weight, I'm down about 30 kilos, a little over 30 kilos actually. I've got some loose skin. Okay, we all do. Most of us do. You know, it's part of being human. Okay, I don't like it, no, but it's there. You know, I accept that. It's not. I know for a fact it's not body fat. It's just loose skin. Okay, and eventually it will retract back in. Okay, so how does that look? Your ideal physique? Losing the loose skin, losing the body fat. We're toning up. Okay, it's not very often that I use the term toned, but in this instance, it's quite accurate. Okay, what about a physical goal like being able to walk without pain? Okay, I've trained ladies in the past with, you know, they're carrying so much weight, their knees hurt. You know, unless you've actually experienced that, you know, it's just one of those things that you have to experience to know. Okay, so you know, been there, done that, struggled to tie my shoes. You know, at my heaviest, I'm going to keep using myself as the example here. I don't want to pick on anybody on the call or anybody in specific, anybody specific. Spit it out. At my heaviest, 115 kilos, 30% body fat, my knees hurt. Okay, I couldn't tie my shoes, but it was a struggle. I couldn't get my knee up on the chair to tie my shoes. Okay, that's embarrassing. Okay, to have that sort of, I'm not even going to call it a disability, because I did it to myself. Okay, I'm not going to go down the mental health track on this one just yet, but you know, at the end of the day, I did it to myself. I put the food in my mouth. You know, that's that. What about how clear your skin is? You know, there's people out there that are probably going to be dealing with acne. Okay, so what if I told you we could get your skin clear? Okay. What about how do you get there? Okay, do you want to spend another year going to the in-laws' place or going to your family's place and getting the same question? Oh, hey, you put on weight. When are you going to lose weight? When are you going to settle down with a family? What if your weight, how does that sound? What if your weight was the deciding factor of you getting out and meeting someone, meeting your partner? Okay, and someone's going to pick on that. Unbeknownst to them, like, you can't hold that against them. You know, I guess you can, but it's okay. It's putting that emotion behind everything. And then how do you get there? That is the big one. How do you get there? So again, setting those goals where you want to be. Now, obviously, we've only got 8 weeks. You can get a lot of stuff done in 8 weeks, but it's not, you know, that 12-month period we spoke about earlier. Let's set a realistic goal for these 8 weeks. Okay, how do you get there? Okay, so setting a calorie target and a training plan. Okay, we've got Christmas calories don't count. I call bullshit. Every calorie counts. Our one-on-one guys, you've all got your plan. It's been done to the individual. You should all be sticking to that one. And I'm just looking at the list of who's on board tonight. Everyone's pretty dead on with it, actually, with your current training plan. But for those of you who aren't part of our coaching plan, setting a calorie target. I'm going to be quite honest here. Don't use the calorie targets that you just find on Google. You know, okay, you do your research. Go study nutrition. Go study something to do with food that will give you the proper sums to calculate your calorie intake. Even then, they might need a few tweaks. So you're gonna have to do a little bit more study to, okay, so I'm doing a lot of strength training. I might have to increase my protein target. Okay, I'm sitting at a desk. So, okay, I don't need the carbohydrates. Where am I gonna get my calories from? Let's try a higher fat diet. Okay, it's little simple things like that. Obviously, I can't set everybody's calories over the call here. So, again, reach out. We're here to help. Okay. How to stay accountable for this is a big one as well. Like, put your weight on anything social. Okay, stick it on the fridge. Draw what. Good example of what I use. I actually got some permanent markers, and I scribbled on my fridge. I just put up a list. This was a bucket list, but it works the same for weight loss and weight goals and all that sort of stuff. But permanent marker. Okay, not a whiteboard marker that you can rub off easily. Permanent marker. Draw up your list. Again, I used a bucket list, so it was visit. Actually, I can't even remember what was on it. I know we took a few things off. Visit this place. You know, skydiving, whatever it may be. Do this with your weight loss as well, or weight gain, whatever your goal is. and whatever your targets are for Christmas. Okay, not just weight, but let's talk Christmas bucket list is actually a nice little term that we can use. Christmas bucket list. I want to have prawns for dinner. I want to have COVID restrictions aside. I want to have 25 people. I want to have 50 people at my place. I want to have a party. I want to have Christmas lights run the length of the veranda. You know, I want to have that fairy tale atmosphere. I want to have a proper platter. You know, set that on your fridge, somewhere public, somewhere that you can see it, somewhere that's going to be in the forefront of your mind, and you can see that day in, day out. In terms of weight and physical appearance, make it public. The more people that know about it, the easier it is to stick to, the more accountability that you have. And if people are going to hang shit on you for using social media as, you know, to voice your workouts and this is my check-in, blah, blah, blah. If people are going to hang shit on you for that, then you don't need them on your life. Just hit unfriend. It's that simple, okay? I promise you 98% of the people out there will support you. There are some assholes out there, I'm not going to lie, but 98% of you. And then weekly check-ins as well is another great way. Again, Facebook, YouTube, I actually do a daily YouTube check-in on my personal YouTube account. So if you wanted to jump on that, I think it's just Jason Gent or a day in the life of a health coach or something like that. It's at the moment, it's all about my prep and how we're feeling with bodybuilding comps and all that sort of stuff. So YouTube is a great way. It's a great little 21st century diary. It's basically how I'm using it. Look, finally, get a coach. You know, without trying to sound like I'm upselling, getting a coach is one of the biggest and best investments you will ever make because the hard work is done for you. All you have to do is tick the boxes. Okay, it's that simple. God, look at the time. Health. So we're talking mental and emotional here. This is a big one. I love the psychology. I love mental health. I'm a huge advocate for Beyond Blue and dealing with any sort of mental dramas. For those of you who've been around with me a little while now, you know I've had a suicide attempt in the past from a previous relationship. So for me, mental health is huge. And again, I just want to go off track a little bit here. If anybody is struggling with mental health, you know, sing out. You know, there is no judgment. There is, you know, I've got my door open all the time. You know, shoot me a message through Facebook if you want to stay anonymous. By all means, I'm cool with that. Yeah, it is a huge area that generally goes unspoken about. But yeah, no, there is support out there. Take it from someone who has been there. I'm not going to compare my story to yours, but you know, life will get better and can get better. All you have to do is find the support. So that's what I'm here for. But anyway, back on track here. Let's talk mental and emotional health. So again, we're going to do the same thing what we did with our physical health. We're going to describe your current state of mental health. In this case, around Christmas. You know, is it a stressful type of time of year for you? I know there's a few people out there that generally get their shopping done around the what is it, end of financial year sales, and they do all the Christmas in July lay-bys and all that sort of stuff. That's a great little tool to take away some of the stress later on in the year around this time. But how is it currently for you? Are you stressed? You know, have you got a list a mile long that you can't actually see because it's all up in your head? Okay, how would you like to see your mental health for Christmas? I know how I would. You know, exactly with this photo here, the guy in his socks with a cup of what I'm going to say that it's eggnog or coffee, or it's actually, I don't care what it is. It looks good. It's a great little image there. That's how I want to spend my Christmas, and it's actually on my bucket list to spend Christmas in Whistler over in Canada. So that would be a great way to do that. So that's on my bucket list. Won't be this year, obviously. We're going to be up in Cairns for that week. Actually, no, Christmas will be here. Cairns will be New Year. So yeah, how does that look for you? How does that feel for you? Is it relaxed or is it complete chaos? Okay, and again, it's all about perspective. Okay, just going back to the whole good and bad thing. There's no such thing as a bad Christmas. It's just a different Christmas. Okay, and again, people that know me know I don't like Christmas. It's not my thing. I don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's that I just don't see the appeal. I don't understand, or I don't have the reason to justify. I'm not religious, so there's no religious aspect to it. But I don't see why we need a holiday to bring family together. So I've been getting into the habit of calling my mother every Thursday night on the way home. So you don't need a holiday to get together with family, and unfortunately, that's what Christmas is used for now. Is catch up with family. It becomes more work, more hassle than it should be. It should be like this guy here, sitting back with his socks on. Speaking of which, I can get a hold of some ugly socks for our team for Christmas, for our Christmas party this year. So remind me later on. Meditation is another one. I've actually been meditating a little bit lately as well. It's a great way to sort of get out of your own head. Okay. I actually found a great way. I took a trip to the coast by myself. Fitbit have a new tool for meditation and keeping you on track with meditation. So I've been using that. Ended up passing out on the beach, getting sunburnt and sandblasted, but it's a different story. But meditation is a great way, again, just to get out of your head, just to be refocused and re-energized with what really is. Okay. And now look, the rest of this is sort of in the work side of things. So your daily task list. Like we said before, get it out of your head, put it on something in front of you. Pen and paper work best because you actually physically have to write. It's not just tap, tap, tap. Carry that notepad around with you. When something else comes into your head, write it down. Okay, tick things off as you go as well. Don't scribble them out because you want to be able to see your achievements at the end of the day. So it's just that tick off at the end. Okay, get presents. So-and-so wants a this for Christmas. Write it down. Okay, I'm at a shopping center tomorrow. I'll take my list. You might spend 10, 15 minutes at night just organizing that list again. Rewriting a new one and just to organize. Okay, I've got to stop at the shops. I'm going to get this, and this. I don't need that old list anymore. Everything's all organized. That's my list for tomorrow. I'm going to follow that to a T. And yeah, you still take your notepad. You can start on the day after's list of your task list. Okay. So task lists are amazing. I work really well off a task list. I find that I actually get bored because I complete it too early. So there's still a lot of time I can cram into my day. Give that a crack anyway. I promise you it works a treat. Look, the other ones are to outsource. Like anybody in business for themselves, it's outsourcing or delegation is a lifesaver. So you can do that with just about anything. Even with your partner, get hold of, call hubby on the way home from work and say, hey, look, can you swing by Woolies, Coles, Aldi, wherever it is you shop, and pick up a ham, order whatever, order your prawns. I'm talking about prawns. I could go for some prawns tonight. Even little things like that. Get your kids on board as well if you've got kids. Okay, let's make some. I know we did it through school. We made our own little plates. You get the kids to scribble on some plates, and it's the whole ugly sweater thing, but it's with a personal touch. I don't say ugly. That's ugly plates from your kids. That's what I'm trying to say. But you know, they're involved. They're making the China, well, not Chinaware, plasticware. You know, you can hang on to that for years. The sentimental value is going to be huge on that. Also, it sort of bleeds into the financial things as well, but the cut down on the workload, like the Secret Santa, it's a great way to, if you've got, you know, 25, 30 people that you have to buy presents for, you know, that's going to add up. You spend $10 a person, that's $250 that you may not necessarily have, versus, okay, let's get everybody a better present, but let's only get one person that present. Let's do a Secret Santa. Let's set the limit at, you know, $50. So you've just dropped your gift expenses down by 80%. Okay, things of that nature as well. Okay, that will free up so much space in your head. It will also have a great deal on stress. A great, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm running out. Do I have coffee? No, I'm out of my coffee. So we're running on fumes at the moment. Let's get on to the fun stuff. How to be financially free for Christmas. Who wouldn't want that under their tree? But again, same sort of concept. What does financially free mean to you? So is it a holiday whenever you like? You know, we've set our targets on, obviously our big holiday got cancelled this year. We were going to go for a month cruise from Hawaii down through Bora Bora, New Zealand. Thank you, COVID, for knocking that one on its head. But as an alternative, we've set a couple of little Queensland getaways. So with that, obviously, we need to save our money for those, and we're putting that money aside. Alternatively, you can make smaller payments. Okay, and this is I'll get to your task list later on, actually. So you can set up various bank accounts. I know a lot of banks will allow you to do, whether it's sub accounts or different types of accounts. Like, everybody should do it now. If your bank doesn't let you do that, go change banks. Yeah, you know, set up a separate account. I've got so many. I've got business, I've got personal, I've got my tax account. So obviously I have to put money aside for tax. I've got a Christmas party account for all of our guys. There's a couple more. I can't remember what they are. Oh, personal savings and business savings. So there you go. I think there's about 7 accounts that I've got there, all open. They're all earning interest. So again, you're going to be earning more than you save. There's tons of little tips that you can use. I know I bank with ING, so we use what's called an everyday roundup. I know there's a couple of banks that do something similar as well. So if you buy a cup of coffee for $4.50, can you get a cup of coffee for $4.50? Little one. If you buy a cup of coffee for $4.50, what happens is ING round it up to $5. They put that 50 cents, in this case, into my personal savings account. Okay, so over time, like I'll have, it may only be, you know, $7 or $10 per month, but it all adds up. Okay, so every little bit will count. I mean, that $10 over 12 months, that's still $120 that I didn't have otherwise. I probably would have spent, to be quite honest. Okay, what else does financially free mean to you? Like no need to work a regular job. Again, putting the emotion behind all of this. Making purchases. This is a big one. Purchases whenever you like, or this is the one that resonates with me. Is no need to check your account at the checkouts. So I love that. And I'll be honest, I'm not by any means a millionaire. I'm not making any, I'm average income. But coming from being borderline bankrupt, I was earning $50 a week. I would have been better off on Centrelink. This is just a couple of years ago, mind you. to be able to go grocery shopping and not have to worry about not having money in my account or transferring money across, that personally is a huge, huge achievement. So whatever financially free means to you, it needs to resonate. It needs to hit that sore spot. Okay, and again, if it hits that sore spot, you'll go out of your way to get rid of any sort of stress that will come with it. Sounds cool? Okay, but your task list. Let's get on to your task list for this evening. Look, 3 things. Okay, number 1 is organize a savings plan. Now I've got there $50 a week or 10% of your income. Now it's funny, I heard a little fact a couple of weeks back actually that I think it's something like 95% of the population cannot come up with $3,000 for an emergency. Now $3,000, I'll give you an example. My old car, I blew the turbo in it. There's $2,500 right there. Okay, plus that, plus the service, plus tires and everything like that. The thing was costing me a fortune. So there's one trip to the mechanics, ended up costing me about $4,000 or $5,000. Okay, and you know what? So many people out there cannot do that, and I couldn't do it at the time. That's why I had to get this savings plan. Okay, I put aside $150 a week into my personal savings. Okay, that works out at about $7,500, a little over $7,500 per year. So if you put $100 in there, what's the average income? About let's work off round figures. $52,000 a year income. Okay, you put what's that? $1,000 a week. Okay, $100 a week into your savings. There's $5,000 by the end of the year. There's Christmas taken care of. Okay. Another little tip that I used was like it's not a big deal anymore, but with cash, when we used to carry cash everywhere, was at the end of the day, anything less than a $20 note got put into a money box and it stayed there. Now you picture that, and actually I think it was $5 or less. I think we were doing. So $5 notes or any sort of coins at the end of the day thrown in there. The rule was, do not spend a $5 or any sort of coins. If that means the only other note in your wallet or in your purse is a 50 or 100, then you break that 50, you break the 100. Okay, you cannot spend any pink notes, any $5 notes, or any coins. Everything $5 or less gets put into that money box. Now, this was only a couple of years ago, so obviously cash was on its way out anyway. Nobody carries cash now at the moment. So, but by the end of the year, we had close to $2,000 just in, spare change. So it's a really cool way, but you cannot spend it though. Okay, I just used an old protein bucket, cut a slot in the top of the bucket, sticky tape up the lid so I couldn't get into it. And come the week of Christmas, bust it open, bam, easy $2,000. Okay, so create that savings plan. A lot of banks will actually allow you to automate it. So the only thing that I actually have to do now with my banking is put my tax aside. It's obviously different income each week. Comes down to, putting 10, 12% each side aside each week into my tax account. Everything else is automated. There's about 9 or 10 different transfers per week that I just automate. It does it all for me. So once that's done, that'll take you maybe, depends how in depth you want to go, maybe 10 minutes. If you want to go a little bit further, look at maybe electricity bills, internet bills, phone bills. You can actually set up, like, okay, let's say your phone bill is $60 per month. Okay, $15 a week. All you have to do, set up a $20 a week transfer to your telco company. Now, what happens You can do this with most things, most utilities, phone, internet, etc. You can actually get into a credit. Now, electricity, we're about $400-500 in credit. Okay, we just pay that little bit extra each week. So I can't remember the last time we've actually had a bill. If you want to go down that track, you know, so good. You're not surprised by random bills. You're not surprised by, you know, a large outlay versus a small outlay. Everything's taken care of. And of course you can redraw. They take a little while to pay it back to you, but you can redraw on that. Okay. Again, so much load off. It's a regular direct debit, so you know exactly how much is going out of your account each week. Nice and easy. Okay. The second thing I'm going to get you to do is create your nutritional targets. All our one-on-one guys, you don't have to do that. That's all been done for you. It's all in your app. But if you're watching this on a recording, if you're not part of our coaching team as yet, work out your nutritional targets. Or if you'd like to jump onto our training team, by all means, reach out, shoot me a message, and we'll take care of that for you. Nutritional targets and a simple meal plan. Keep it simple. It's a whole KISS analogy. Keep it simple, stupid. Run down what you're going to eat. All home cooked meals. There is no such thing as takeaway anymore. Okay, if you really want to make a change before Christmas, if you can't stick to this for 8 weeks, there's something wrong. Okay, without trying to be an asshole here, grow up. Okay, there's no takeaway you don't need. Home cooked meals, simple meal plan. The last thing we're going to get used to do with your physical health here is schedule a minimum of 4 days training plus daily activity for the entire 7. Okay, so that training plan needs to focus around your strength training. The daily activity is a simple step goal. So, Fitbits or Apple Watches or Garmin's or whatever brand you choose, they'll all have a step goal built in for you. That's your task list. You're going to do that tonight. Nutritional targets, the one-on-one guys, nutritional targets and training plans, you can tick them off already. They're done. I want you guys to focus in on your savings. Okay, maybe just streamline that a little bit. I mean, $50 a week, there's, what's the math on that? $400 for Christmas. How great would it be to go out and let's say a ham is, depending on the size of the family, anywhere from sort of $60 upwards. How great would it be to say, okay, I don't have to transfer any money. Here's my, maybe you do have to transfer money, transfer it out of the savings account into your regular account. Bam, there we go. Ham, done. Prawns, I don't know what prawns go for at the moment. It's expensive. Desserts, you've got everything. That $400 can take care of your Christmas dinner, not only for your family, but for your guests as well. So how great would that be? $50 a week. I'm sure everybody can come up with $50 a week. If not, look at your expenses. Okay, maybe cut down on a few of the expenses and maybe streamline a few things. Look, at the end of the day, if you need help, I'm here to help. Reach out, and we will make that happen. Okay. Obviously, if you do want to jump on board with our coaching plan, we will cover everything. Again, all our one-on-one guys, if you want to have a chat about your finances as well or your mental health, by all means, I cover everything for you here. So we got you back, is what I'm trying to say. Cool. Were there any questions before I wrap up tonight? It went a long time over, and I do apologize for that. It was only supposed to be half an hour. Any questions, concerns, issues, anything at all? I'm just looking at the chat. Nothing. No, we're cool. Someone give me a thumbs up or awesome, we're good. Awesome, sweet. Thanks, team. Again, if you have any questions, I'm here for you. If you know somebody who would like to jump on board with our coaching program, by all means, send them through. I'll tell you now, I'm not taking on just anybody. They're going to have to go through the audition process and actually win me over, I guess. That's the approach that I'm going to take now, is just to make sure people are willing to stick to these things. If they're tire kickers, we won't worry about it. But cool. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Let's all have a good night, good morning, or whenever you're watching this as a recording. Again, thank you all for coming along. I hope you got something out of that. Went a lot longer than I thought, but cool. Let's wrap it up. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night, morning, lunch, whatever. And we will chat to you guys again very, very soon. So, thanks, team.